here we are in year 2
Episode 67
of the Simple Success Podcast. And
this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
Tax obligations. What? I mean, coaching happiness. Coaching happiness.
When you change you change everything.
You don't doubt that for a minute, do you, DT? Oh, I don't know. I'm on the fence, but I doubt that. You doubt that you doubt it? No, I never doubt my ability to doubt. Is it then doubtful that you might doubt? I sincerely doubt that. Then why are you doubting Thomas? This is a trap. Oh, no, it's not. It's a definition of failure, so that we may avoid it. Do you doubt me? Kind sir, I cannot doubt what is not true. Do you think anyone is still listening to us? Oh, I do not doubt that. Oh, interesting. Do you think you know what the topic is? I retain doubts about that not. You're trying to make me say it, aren't you? I am. So, unless you have a good alibi or a good excuse. Do you doubt that I do? Nary are such doubts as I would have. Yet still, I sense apology in the air, even as a form of medical attention. I don't apologize for not having doubts. Well, not this time anyway. It would detract from the cover-up. The what up? Did you just say cover-up? I mean my failure. Failure to what? I was in the process of telling you. Come on, no pussyfooting here. Tell me who's on first. Oh, I don't know. I think that requires a higher payment plan. I mean, tell me at what you failed. Oh, nothing. You can stand down now, healthcare team. It was stable investing, wasn't it? I doubt that. That's what we talk about here. Among other things, related to investing from a happiness perspective. Is there one word on which we can anchor that will make this clearer? Yes. And that word is creation. Creation? Yeah. People must be taught to become rich by creation as opposed to competition. And we'll go into that a lot more in future episodes. But the gist is, you don't throw the ladder down. No, you offer a hand up. That would make the cherished plan of winning a lot easier for everyone. So they wouldn't doubt or have to cover up any fear of failure or of actual failures of their own, like the ones in our second section. It would. And it would make a lot greater use of the team idea. You mean where two of us knows more than one of us? Yes. And it grows exponentially, so that three of us knows more than just 50% more than two of us. It rockets upward in the proverbial hockey stick. We need to do a lot more of that, without a doubt. I see what you did there. And maybe, just maybe, one or more of our listeners saw or heard that as well. We'll know when we check the emails that we'll no doubt get. Good thing you don't doubt that we'll get some. Oh, it's just one of the risk factors, my dear DT. Breaks are part of the plan too, right? Yes, they are. And they're often so professional and entertaining, the best ones blend well into the story even. Like ours will. Right. Speaking of which, what about going to
Break number 1.
Hello, everyone. This is John with the Simple Success Podcast, financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Because we know you want to show us some serious love in return for the tremendous benefits you get from us. Please head over to the support link in our written show notes. That's the words on your podcast player. There, you can choose from a $9.99 per month doing level of support, a $4.99 knowing level, or a basic intro level of just 99 cents per month. Great place to start, whichever you choose. Thank you so much for helping us do this for you. And to leave us a voice message, which just might see the light of day in a future podcast, go to those same written show notes. You'll go to a site where you can leave a video, audio, or text-only message, depending on how you feel at the moment. You can also send us an audio file attached to an email if you use just more than your phone for stuff. I won't repeat those links because weird. And anyway, show notes. It's all in there, and it's all easy. I can't wait to see you struggle to bring examples to us this time. Why? Do you think it'll be hard? Like dealing with shortness of breath or something? No, I know it will be hard. What did I say last week?
Mix hard with easy every day.
And how is that relevant? Easy. I'm going to mix what you call hard with what I call easy. And I will not fail. Good luck with that. By the way, I was blamed for a mistake at work recently, but it wasn't my fault. Really? Do tell, DT. My absolutist in plethering. We'll have to work on your Eastern European persona there. Watch me gatekeeper you. Anyway, I was managing a project a while back, and I was so eager to please, I said we could finish the project in 2 weeks. but it took 3. It was a serious failure of vision on my part. The next time, I told them it'd take 4 weeks, and we finished in 3. They were very happy about this.
You did the standard good business thing.
I did?
Yep, you underpromised and over-delivered. Everyone likes that, except maybe when they have to do it, kind of like a heart transplant.
Another knowing doing gap thing?
Well, now that you mention it, yes, it is.
But doing and failing is never a good thing.
Not if, as I've heard said, you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
But you don't, do you?
You get as many chances as you want to get. If you keep the attitude of success foremost, with persistence, you can get there.
Unless you're super smart, like old Abe Lincoln, and don't need to be so persistent.
Well, not exactly.
Oh?
Well, truth is, Lincoln failed in business at 21, lost an election at 22, failed again in business at 24, had a sweetheart die, had a nervous breakdown, lost a congressional race, 2 senatorial races, and a vice president race, all before becoming the 16th president at age 52.
Talk about a power failure. Time for the Napoleon Hill lesson?
Well, not quite from him, but close. One of his business partners, and it was more process failures than a power failure.
Oh, you mean the that's good guy? I'm guessing this story will be right out of your trunk of humors, won't you? You boiling hatch of beastliness, you swollen parcel of dropsies.
Indeed, kind Richard, thou human blood clot.
Oh, what then? Gambling debts at age 3?
His dad's debts, yes. So he sold newspapers on the street to help support his family.
Have I showed you my world's smallest violin?
Yes, and I always ignore you when you try.
So what was different?
He figured out, after trying a few things, that he could sell newspapers in restaurants instead of on street corners like everybody else was doing. This is persistence and initiative.
We could all use more of that in order to avoid complete failure.
True that, and most people don't know that Bill Gates and Paul Allen tried to start a company 3 years before they started Microsoft. And that one, Trafodata, didn't work out as well.
Ah, a more complex failure. Hence the plan to implant microchips in brains using COVID vaccines.
Yeah, right, DT. I think it's pretty safe to say that Bill probably doesn't care what you're doing. And if he does, well, compare that to being in a foxhole in Ukraine.
Fail often, fail quickly, and fail cheaply.
That's generally considered good advice.
Any other famous people?
Of course, DT. Heard of Michael Jordan?
Sounds kind of familiar. He was a minor league baseball player, wasn't he?
You crack me up sometimes, even though he did try that.
I suppose he would.
Yeah, he was cut from his high school basketball team.
And the Beatles were rejected by Decca.
And the Who by EMI.
I wish I had a copy of that letter.
Oh, I do have one. The band included one in their 1974 Live at Leeds album, which I have.
And you'll link to a copy in the show notes, probably.
Well, of the letter, yes, I will.
Can you make an NFT out of it?
Different topic, DT. Let's stay on the story.
Okay, I'll wait. Anyone else?
Yeah, Eminem barely made it. Steve Jobs was fired. Walt Disney was fired. Oprah Winfrey was demoted. Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison were told as youngsters that they would never amount to anything.
And of course, as you already know, Henry Ford only invented the Model T in order to scare horses.
Yeah, right. The passage of time really helps with stuff like that. What else? There's the pre-mortem, post-mortem debate. There's checklists and templates. And my favorite, Hamlet.
You like Shakespeare that much?
Of course. I mean, in Hamlet, everyone is killed and the royal family is destroyed.
I have to admit, that sounds like fun.
And of course, there's investing issues, which will be tied in just like you want.
I'm warming up my ears as we speak.
But first, break number 2.
We know a lot about you already because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es bueno, Sebo. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it and you win too.
Glad to see you return on time, John.
Got to keep the blood healthy. Why the sort of low-pitched version of a happy sound?
That's me anticipating your next failure.
Why would you do that?
What else is there to do?
Well, you could always mix repetition and patience with faith and purpose.
Too squishy for me, hombre.
How about having the vision of what you want?
Soft, downy pillows, my boy.
How about you will succeed?
It's not that easy.
Actually, it is.
Want a bet?
Okay, yeah. As a man thinketh, right?
Glad I didn't actually bet yet.
Right, but while you were thinking that, I locked up your Bitcoin account.
You did what?
No, not really, but I did stick with the idea of investing in the same way as I think.
Sounds like that's a simple success solution.
Does, doesn't it?
Are you doubting it?
I am not. I am investing. Doubling down even.
Why?
Because I believe, because I'm persistent, and mostly...
Blood pressure be damned?
No, try again.
Because it works.
Yes. And when something which supposedly disturbs investors, or disturbs the market,
Or the like.
yes, or the like comes along, I've learned how to evaluate that, so that I might well ignore it.
And just focus on the return.
Yeah, like with my step bet games.
Where you get a big return.
For not putting in much, except effort.
More on that later, I'm guessing.
Yes, after more practice.
And repetition.
Yes, that's good, right?
And then repetition is a marvelous thing, too. The conscious mind finally gets tired of hearing you say it over and over and over. It's all right if you bound to repeat that. I can't stand here and watch you forever. Go on in there and take it into sub and see what you do with it. That's the way it works.
The way it works has got to be a good indicator of what to do.
It is, which just means we should practice even more.
And you have all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
A la prochaine. This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries. The supporting cast who helps me bake the bread includes
Techno King, John C. Brandy, Fact Checker, Abraham Lincoln, French Consultant, Virginia Mitchell, Media Expert, Favor, Abasi E.K., Psychologist, William James, Rabbit Hole Advisor, Dr. Mark Perrott, Sound Designer, Goodly Amo, Marconi, Spanish Consultant, Cameron J.K. Brandy, Videographer, Alfred Hitchcock, Audio Props, Les Paul, Inspiration, Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale.
We also have websites, and you can subscribe to both podcasts and get ebooks and other great stuff. You can send us a video, audio, or text message, but of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to actually get links and stuff. And those clickable links are in the show notes.
And before we forget, the artificial intelligence or AI voices you hear in our work come from the online tone generator, linked in the show notes.
Finally, you can find us on Podmatch and Listen Notes, where we consider guests as well as consider guesting on other people's pods.
And really finally, the music for our pods comes from Cute by Ben Sound and from Piano Background by Nick Simon Adams. The sound effects credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Just Kidding, Canusi G, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything Sounds and ERH, all on freesound.org.